Oh, good morning. So, in the fairly recent past, I've been talking about the space between. And typically we think of a relationship as you and you, two people. And I'm suggesting to think about your relationship as the two of you plus the space between you. Because it is a real energy field, isn't it? And you can tell when there's tension there. It's either tension free or it's not. All right? And there's sort of no middle ground. And you cannot keep putting negativity into the space between because the negativity causes disconnect. And from the quantum level up, what you want is connection. All right? And so I've been telling people that I believe that the fastest way forward for couples now is to really pay attention to the space between. No negativity in there. No blame, shame, or criticism. So that was part one, suggesting that's the fastest way forward. And part two brought up the fact, I guess, that sometimes, the negativity in the space between is unconscious. People aren't aware. And the caveat, of course, is that it's a person on the receiving end who determines whether it's negative or not. And so I suggested that, how do you let your partner know that something that they did or said was negative without getting their back up even more? So I suggested like a code word or action or something that you both agree on ahead of time that would let your partner know, hey, what you did, what didn't work for me. And so that whatever it was won't happen again. Then part three, I encourage couples to use the safe conversation process to fix whatever happened. And I know the safe conversation process is a structured approach, the mirroring, validation, and empathy, but the structure ensures safety, all right? And it allows people to talk without criticizing, listening without judging, and connecting through their differences. And then in part four, I used the example of how this can show up in a relationship. It happened in the office and we started it out, but the trick is to do it at home, have the tools to do it at home. It was a gal who felt dismissed. It was not her partner's intention to dismiss her, but it triggered an old feeling from before. And that's how this stuff shows up. So then the trick is to have the tools to fix it at home. So here in part five, it's the last part of the series on the space between. I'm encouraging you to refill the space between with positives. In the romantic love phase of a relationship, I think that space between is pretty positive. It's new, it's exciting, it's romantic. And then I think it's small things. I really do. It's just, a criticism here, roll your eyes, walk away, shut down, whatever. And either slowly or sometimes quickly, that space between starts to become more negative, and it becomes too negative, then people start to avoid. Why would I go into a toxic space? All right? So the key is to first remove all negativity from the space between, and then secondly, to refill that with positives. And I encourage couples to say the positives out loud. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. You did a good job. Because again, think about it from your old brain point of view. If I'm constantly hearing, hey, thanks a lot, I appreciate that, my old brain can relax. This is not the enemy over there, it's my ally. We're on the same team. All right? So, I keep saying that having a great relationship, it's not rocket science. It's not. But to me, there are four key pieces. And the first is that notion of safety. Our old brain has a 500 million year history. You're not going to change it. And its job is to keep us alive. But generally your partner's not the enemy. All right? Then secondly, like we've been focused on here, you can't keep putting negativity in the space between because the negativity causes disconnect. And what you want to do is connect. I came across a great quote the other day. The greatest illusion of the universe is the illusion of separation. And your relationship is part of this beautiful universe of ours. And the illusion might be that there's separation, but everything is in relation to everything else. It wants to connect. And then, so you don't want to put any negativity in the space between, and then you want to refill that with positives. Then thirdly, in the Imago system, we're saying don't be surprised if you're connected with somebody who, especially at the start, you're going to have to talk to each other about, because you're probably with somebody who has both positive but often also the negative traits of your family of origin, or your original caretakers. But the reframe is to see this not as a negative, but as a chance to grow. But you have to be aware, you have to be conscious. And then the fourth part is you have to learn to talk to your partner in a safe way. And I'm saying if you can figure out another way, do it. But I know the safe conversation process works. It's a structured approach. You know, before I can say anything, I want to mirror back, make sure I heard my partner, validate where they're coming from, and empathize with them, and then back and forth it goes. So that structure ensures safety. And so there you are, the 4 key pieces of the relationship you truly want. Now, there might be new skills you have to learn and incorporate, but what will happen is the new behaviors will become as automatic as the old, but the outcome is pleasure, not pain. Why would you go back to the old way? Okay? So best of luck going forward, and next week we'll start another chapter. Take care. Have a great week.